Hi friends, it's your pal Scott Garibay, and today we are going to talk about a new campaign that I am starting with the Gold Player. All right, so let's talk about the Gold Player. First of all, the Gold Player is distinct from the Gold Dungeon Master. Not the same person. All right, so the Gold Player is a player that I have run 5 campaigns with over the last 2 years, and every single one of them is right here on this channel. You could listen to all of them. We did Star Trek, we did Numenera, we did Crown and Skull, and we did Marvel Multiverse role-playing game. And Numenera also had nested within it a Bearcats campaign. So that's 5 campaigns. We used the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game. We used Crown and Skull and Dungeons and Dragons for one of those campaigns, systems-wise. We used Cypher System for Numenera, and we used what was the other one in there? Oh, and for Star Trek, we actually ran it was Modiphius's 2D20 system, which was really quite interesting. All right, so so basically we finished up. We had run 5 campaigns together, and at that point we wrapped up, and we were using a pull schedule. Right now, pull scheduling, I highly recommend it. Pull scheduling is fantastic. So all of these campaigns, it was me running and the Gold Player playing. Right, so they call this dungeon duet Dungeons and Dragons, right? Which is one player, one dungeon master, and I highly recommend it because one of the greatest. It is very difficult to run tabletop role playing games today at all. And the number one problem you'll hear is scheduling. People are like, it's just almost impossible to schedule. But with one person, what we do is we do pull scheduling. And so throughout the week, the player would just say, hey, I'm ready to play, right? And I'll be like, okay, tonight's good. Or I might say, oh, I'm going to a movie tonight, so tomorrow night, And then our normal schedule is we'll drop in at about 10:15 p.m., and we'll go, and that's Eastern Standard Time. And he's in Canada. I'm not sure if he's in the same, I think he's in this, I don't know if he's in the same time zone as me. That's interesting. And so basically, and then we would play, and we would go for, and actually what I would do is I would run for an hour and then check in and say, we've been running for an hour. Do you want to do another 15? And we usually only do like an hour and 15, 90 minutes, and then just keep going, right? But we might play 3 times in a week, or we might play once every 2 weeks. But pull scheduling allowed us to have a ton of flexibility in our scheduling. So then we finished it up, and then we did pull scheduling, and he didn't call for 4 months, right? And honestly, I was like, well, I don't know if we're ever playing again, right? Like, it was a little like, okay, now the nice thing is there was no problem. We had wrapped up a campaign, right? Like we use a pull schedule, right? We schedule whenever it's, so 4 months later, he's like, hey, you want to play it? I'm like, oh yeah, well, let's go. All right. So he's like, what would you like to run? Which was great. I really appreciated that. So I said, here's what I would like to run. I would like to run Return to the Dark Tower role-playing game by using the Mazes system, which is a brand new hardback I had gotten a couple months ago. Or I would love to run Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and we had talked about that previously. We're both huge fans of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And he said, I would love, and he didn't know Return of the Dark Tower, which is based off an old board game. So, and I'll tell you right now, you base your game on a licensed property. If the person don't know the licensed property, you cooked, man. Like, it just don't work. But we both know, and who doesn't know Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? You have to live in a cave to not know them, right? They're epic. And so he's like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm like, thank you very much for letting me pick the theme. You can pick any rule system you want, right? And the reason why is like the old, there's only 2 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. One of them isn't released, and the other one is super old Rift game, right? And those rules suck. So I was like, what do you want to use for rules? And he's like, I would really like to use Feng Shui 2. Now, I've heard a lot of good things about Feng Shui 2. And so I got a hold of Feng Shui's 2 and read it, and I was like, oh, bet. Yeah, this is going to be fantastic. Well, I gave a yes before I read it. But it is fantastic, and it is a really, really strong, it's really strong for, it's a fantastically strong system for action, right? So I'm really excited to be running it. Robin D. Laws is connected. He's absolutely brilliant. I was actually really impressed with and the characters are amazeballs. Like, it is really, really good. Actually, Feng Shui Su is so, we're going to use the rule system to run this TMNT, but it was so good, I think I might double tap that thing and go back and actually run Feng Shui's world, which is pretty cool. And so I just wanted to give you a heads up. So this campaign should be coming to you. I'll be doing recaps as I always do. I'm not promising that. That's my intention. That's my intention. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider like, subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.